Hi, Brandino. This is Jane.
Hi, Brandino. This is Larry.
Hey there.
Good evening, everyone.
Hi. It was too silent. I was like, where? It feels weird.
I
Like
agree.
it's almost like we're all sitting around the boardroom staring at each other and everybody's afraid to say something. All right, I just did get a text from Brian. He's having some troubles getting logged in, but he said start without him. He'll be in as soon as he can.
And then Eric's going to be just a smidge late, right?
I think so. I think he's going to try to bail out of the other meeting that actually goes a little later, but I think he was going to try to do that.
Okay.
And Bandino, did you get my message?
Yep,
I had that. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
And you gotta you got your other thing. Yep. What, 5:30?
It starts at 6, so I kind
That's
of
it.
like to sign in about 5:50.
Okay.
Yay, Brian, you made it.
I made it. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Hey, Brian.
Right.
Hello, hello.
All righty.
We ready?
Yeah, I think we can get going here.
Okay, I would love to be able to review, since this is Jane's first time, and I actually forgot to hit record when we started last time.
Okay.
If we can just review what our objective is and the process,
Okay.
and give you a little update. Let's see here. Once approved, updated policies will be on the website within 5 business days. That worked out pretty well, actually.
All
So
right.
if I'm hoping somebody double checked me, Larry Jeffries, that they all have our little, we reviewed it. So the asterisk next to that date at the bottom means that not only did we review it, but we implemented updates. So I already found error number 1. Right next to here, it should say WASDA revised dates, because that was suggested at our meeting. So folks would know. Let's see if it's on this one. Folks would know that those WASDA dates are not our dates. There's Eric.
Hello.
There we go.
Good afternoon.
Hi. So,
Hi, Eric.
so every policy will have the WASDA. This is one way how you'll know that it was addressed and that you guys reviewed it and did your great job on that. So down here is the SSD dates. That means we reviewed it back in 12/18 and we reviewed it again in 11/20. Okay, I've been saving this. This is the super cool thing.
All right.
I don't know if you guys remember or not, but when we got board docs, we said there's this whole other policy piece in here. So as long as I was updating the website, I went ahead and loaded all of them into board docs. So we'll slowly but surely start to migrate all of our policies over here. And then if somebody clicked on the website, it would take you directly to our policies. This is kind of slick because it tells you what it is, if it's active or not, when was it last revised, when was it last reviewed, and then it's right in the body of the where you open it, as well as there's a PDF attached.
So, yeah, and I don't know that everybody's aware, Tracy, because we found out in the agenda planning that we now have the updated, upgraded, better, high-performing model of board docs.
Correct. Christmas came early for Tracy. Thank you
Yes.
all. This piece was already here. We had just never, you know the story of the policy. We need to come up with that. The policy problem? I don't know. But we're here now and it's getting done. So that's awesome. So there's active policies, drafts, retired, and you guys can also access policy, legal, and news here. I don't know if you knew that. This is on, you don't even, I don't believe, have to log in for anything. There we go.
Larry can't hide his excitement.
I know.
Yahoo!
I think Jim he's got his hand up. He had a
Yes.
question.
Is there a way to increase the view screen some? Because otherwise I'm going to have to find another pair of glasses. Oh, that's looking better.
Okay.
Put on your own screen there, Jim. If you just hit Control and then the plus mark, it'll make it.
Yeah, I had done that, and I'd still needed some assistance.
Got it. All right. Larry, did you have your hand up?
Yeah, I was just going to say it's very cool what Tracy's done to make policies and this part of our work a little bit easier to access. And I was thinking too, maybe at some time that we might want to come up with a splash page which shows anybody and everybody what all, a circle around the numbers and what they all mean. So you get a pictorial visual sense of what all those numbers mean on that. But that could come down the road.
Kind of like this, kind of like that, Larry.
Well, no, I was just thinking maybe a picture of a policy with, the policy number up on top circled and, the WASDA number circled and the SSD number circled with a little explanation what it all means. But I don't know that what you've done now, kind of explains it, I think, if people will look. Well, good job.
All right.
And keep playing with the new toy.
Thank you very much. And we did go over this PowerPoint that kind of does exactly what Larry said, except with the suggestion of adding the WASDA dates in front of these revised dates. I just updated that on the PowerPoint, so we're good to go there. And I think that's an excellent idea to put this on our splash page or something. Okay, are we ready to dive in?
Let's do it.
Okay. It's pretty self-explanatory. We definitely need to update this, and I believe it says exactly that in the policy and legal news. Boards are not required to pass a resolution excusing board member absence due to illness. I believe this is the updated one. Yes. Okay. It's our new one. Questions or comments on that one to move on? Moving on. Conflicts of interest. You guys, I'm going to have to defer to your knowledge on this because I am unaware what a first or second class district is.
So a first class district is like Bremerton, Central Kitsap, and second class is down to like Quilcene, Brennan type
So
size.
it's a size clarification?
Yes.
Okay. So we must be a second class district, and that would be what we would need to update on this one. Yes. There. This one you guys updated when Rob got here with some different language, I believe, or is that that's the procedure? Sorry. We updated that in 13.
Yeah, I believe the procedure we
Yep.
We did.
Okay. This one is a format only. There hasn't been any updates since we looked at this. Pretty simple. Same here. Board member expenses, no update, format only. Ditto on this one. Aren't they all shiny and new and pretty now, guys?
They look fantastic, Tracy.
It really does make a difference. Okay, board markup on this one. So this is the interesting thing. I don't know what happened in December of 11, but Policy and Legal News will reference that, and you can usually click on that, but there were no markup notes available for this. So if we go to 1733 of ours, oh gosh, I feel like I had one word in there. Okay, any board, $50. 4,008. I think it's exactly the same, you guys.
Yes, Tracy, I think it, when WASDA updated, they were bringing it fully updated with the RCW that's listed there.
Perfect. Yep,
Is what-
there we go.
Yeah, just a couple extra sentences, but it doesn't look like it's materially different.
Okay. Format only on the open government training, which I believe you guys have all had and don't have to sit through this time on WASDA on your screen, so that's pretty cool. Annual governance goals and objectives. I have to admit, I had never read this one before. Board self-assessment. Yeah, this was updated.
I got a quick question.
Okay.
It says it just for information. The paragraph there that was just up there said at the end of the,
Mm-hmm.
at the conclusion of each year.
Right.
Which year is that? School year or calendar year?
My guess would be school year. Dr. Prine, do you have input on that?
That has also been my experience, is that it's the school year. So you would, in my experience, it's been where we started with the board. Well, I usually had the board retreat in August. We set our goals and then reviewed them along the way. And then in June, at the conclusion, then we reflected on, did we meet our goals? Were we close? Yeah, so it's a school year.
Okay. Training and development of, this was fun. Boardmanship, you guys, is no longer included in a policy. That's the word that used to be in there. It's not a thing anymore.
Does it count in Scrabble still?
Oh, that's a good question. They added model policies to this, so yay. We like that. I would not be able to do what I'm doing without our subscription to model policies. Student learning goals, format only. We updated in 1018. I think that would have been Miss Jennifer. Here we go. We did, and we updated it with their latest info, not just a review, which means you guys saw it. At least some of you did. Okay, accountability goals. This is why Assistant Superintendent Mon is joining us tonight, because there is a substantial change on this. I'm just going to let you take it away.
You know, I read it a couple days ago, Trace, so if you wouldn't mind pulling it back up again.
You bet.
Oh, that's right. I remember thinking that this was a big one.
That's a lot of change. That's a lot of blue.
Yeah, it is a lot of blue, and you have to excuse me. I've been coming off of our PL day, and I've been trying to get stuff done for payroll today, so I didn't have time to go back and review it today. What they did is there's a new tableau, which is the Washington School Improvement Frameworks. I think in the school improvement plan presentations, I think you have all seen that. That's the new way to look at school improvement with all the data. And they're talking about that and using that in terms of the performance goals. They moved the graduation rates to 90%. No one can have anything less than 90% for students' goals. Obviously, we want 100% of our students to be able to pass and get their diploma and move on. And then if you go down a little bit more, there's a reporting process now. So it's going back to the SIPs and reporting out to the board annually in a public meeting and in writing about the school improvement plans. And Jane and I talked about our current student school improvement plans and reworking those a little bit. And she's gotten some examples from a few other districts, and we'll make sure that what we look at and what we adopt for the new school improvement plans follows this. This can leave a little bit open to interpretation in terms of you're going to use data, but it doesn't tell you specifically what data you have to look at. Usually we look at graduation data, and we look at Smarter Balance and state assessments. And then we want to drill down a little bit more in terms of looking at the different categories of students. I think Director Jeffries had pointed out last year that in math for the SBA, our Latino students were falling significantly behind. And so in talking to Jane about changing the school improvement plans, I had a conversation with her about wanting to have a lot more data and asking that school improvement plans be focused on data and not necessarily athletics or programs. And so we'll take a look at that and determine what data we would like to see in those moving forward. And I think that was the basic gist of it, Tracy. They took all the old wording about reading, writing, and math, and they're talking about just the overall data. Because it used to be a reading and math improvement goal. Now it's based on the Tableau, on the data that you can find there. I see there's questions too. I don't remember whose hand was up first though.
My understanding is the person at the top of the list, but maybe that's Zoom.
That would be Director Stauffer then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. As I was thinking about the 1820 and 1810 two policies, I'd like to do a little more confirmation because I think it's been in December or then January, because that's when we have been doing the board self-assessment. And a few years ago, we had talked about doing the board self-assessment twice a year. And so we had done one in June a couple years ago. But I just want to clarify that if it's end of the year or end of school year. And my memory is going for the end of the year versus school year.
I just have sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to ask Director Stauffer a question. and the rest of the board as well. Would it be advantageous, and I don't know if this is even something you'd want to do, but to do like a pre-assessment and then a post-assessment to see where your areas of growth are? I don't know if that's something, I mean, that's what we do with school improvement plans, but I don't know if that's something the board wants to do with their goal, with their self-assessment. That was just a question I had.
Thank you, Jane. I think we had discussed that time in the past but then overcame with other events, especially this past year. But probably a good food for thought, and maybe we put a placeholder on it right now until we confirm a little more on those dates. At least that's my thoughts.
Thank you.
And Director Jeffries, did you have a question?
Well, just what Jim brought up. So at the end of the school year, I heard two different definitions for that. Is that correct? I think Dr. Pryor said at the end of the school year, and I think Jim said at the end of the calendar year. Is that right?
Yes, for me, it was understanding at the end of the calendar year, and I'm trying to get to my emails because I had a folder for board self-assessment. Last year, we did it in December, and it was after coming back from annual conference and then after change of watch. And we then did it in December or 1st of January.
So I would
Okay.
just chime in. Remember, we're just doing a review. We're not approving these tonight. So this is a good question that we can raise and get some clarification for our first reading. And then we still got a first and second reading before we do an approval.
Yep, I agree. But I do think we ought to put what we mean by at the end of the year, a definition.
Yep.
And
just clarification. Oh, sorry, Director Jeffries, go ahead.
I was just going to ask Jennifer if the 2027 goals are still intact for the SBAs. We're not doing those now. Is that at one time the state wanted to get 90% meeting state standards? Is that still a goal, do you think?
They're still there. They're still intact. I had a meeting with Deputy Superintendent Michaela Miller about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and everything in terms of the SBA and state assessment is on hold. We had applied for a waiver from the government. It was denied. So as of last week, state testing is still moving forward with the same goals. However, OSPI felt that if there was a change in administration, that the state assessment may change. So I would think that we would know something probably pretty quickly if they were going to take state assessments off the table, which they did last year. And I can't imagine that they wouldn't do it this year, but as of right now today, the students are going to be taking it, and the same requirements are still intact.
Good. And I applaud your efforts to improve and standardize possibly the school improvement plans, make them more data driven. I have not been happy with the school improvement plans. Well, there are a couple of school improvement plans that I thought were outstanding and school improvement plans that I think were lacking. So I'm looking forward to some improvement there.
Correct.
Thank
you. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Jeffries. And Dr. Prine and I did have a conversation about that, and we're going to be taking a look at what those outlines are going to be, and we'll give you a look at those when we decide what they're going to be.
Which brings us to our next policy. That was a format only change. But I believe we do have a procedure on that one. Okay, scooching down to 2020. Again, we updated this in 2016. This is a pretty lengthy policy. Yeah. Okay. The rest are all format only. August 19th. And electronic resources update in May of 19. I think let's see, did we scooch that in before? Yeah, before we got onto the electronic world, so good timing. I think same with the last two of these. These are updated. This was a brand new one. Format only. Again, helpful during our recent events. And last one, this one was really old, 2006. Again, I couldn't find any notes on it, but I believe, yeah, it was. 1106. Let's just look at ours real quick. 2025. Similar, very similar. Okay. And at that, we're done, you guys. We're going to be on time to watch the governor at 5:30. Any questions, comments?
Watch what?
Inslee's making some kind of announcement at 5:30.
That's what happens when you're not on. Don't follow media anymore.
Yeah, congratulations. You must be having a way less stressful life.
I don't know about that.
All right, you guys. So these will go on the board agenda for the 16th for first reading. I've made some notes just for myself. So when they come up, I will remember what they were, but no action again. I do not have anything else unless you guys do. Oh, I'm sorry, I do. Actually, I'm going to have to turn my camera on for this. Terry brought something to my attention. You guys have mail, and it's timely mail.
Uh-oh.
You each got a launch box from WASDA.
A lunch box.
Launch. It's a launch box.
Launch. Oh, launch box. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
bummer.
since you're virtual, I opened it because I wanted to know if it was something super duper important. They've got a handy dandy agenda, like a cardboard thing, and some notes, paper. You guys, this is pretty This
Oh,
is
that's
pretty
for
exciting.
the annual conference.
They included a butterfly origami
Yeah.
for you all and some Post-its. So Terry has those all down in the board mailbox if you want to pick that up tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday.
All righty. Sounds good.
Jennifer has a question.
Can I keep you and Dr. Prine on when we're done?
You,
Sure.
Is that okay?
is that you as in,
Oh, no, Dr. Prine and Tracy. Sorry, Brandy.
okay,